use the Q&A feature to ask your questions, please. Okay, we use the chat to put links in for everybody, and so that's why we want to leave the chat open just for links, and then we'll get started here, and then use the Q&A feature to ask questions. Another thing I would probably like to bring up, if possible, I know a lot of people have questions, and they will answer a lot of your questions to the subject of this webinar, and others will bring up as well. So please take a break and don't ask questions right off the bat, okay? Because we'll probably answer them through this webinar, all right? Because, you know, as an example, yesterday, we talked about a certain subject, and we had someone come on and talk about it, and 2 minutes later, we got a bunch of questions on the same subject, okay? So, because sometimes you're just so busy trying to ask your question that you don't see what's going on in the presentation. So again, thank you all for joining us today. We'll get going here in just a bit. Please refrain from using the chat and use the Q&A feature to ask your questions. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Rick Chacon, our Assistant Director of Admissions and Recruitment. And here, take it away, Rick.
Thank you, Rich. Yeah, we're here today to give you an update on the admissions process and also how to update your Cal State Apply. For those of you who may not be aware, you have to update your Cal State Apply by a certain deadline, which is coming up. Okay, so we're going to share this information with you. We're also going to share it with you. In this evening, I'll send you the PDF form of this PowerPoint. Okay. Next, I'd like to introduce Jesse. Jesse Farias. Yes. And Jesse, would you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Jesse Farias. I'm a recruitment counselor here. And you guys can see there my information there, Recruitment School of Education. I'm also the communication specialist for the office. I'm glad that you're all here and you know, ready to learn a little bit more about the application process and the admissions process here at Fresno State. But I definitely would like to welcome you. And like I said, I'm just really glad you applied to Fresno State. A lot of exciting things happening here at our university.
Thank you, Jesse. And we have Michelle Perez. She's having an issue with her camera, but Michelle's going to be working in the background. And if you look in the chat right now, there's a very important message that she posted. Okay. So use the Q&A. Thank you for doing that, Michelle. And Michelle's going to be entering many important websites here. Okay, next we have Leanne Vang. Hi, Leanne. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. My camera is working.
Yes, I apologize for not having your name and picture up here, but
that's okay.
Would you like to introduce yourself and your role here in the recruitment office?
Yes. So again, my name is Leanne Vang. I'm one of the recruitment counselors here at Fresno State. Welcome to our webinar today. I serve as actually the liaison to the Craig School of Business and also to the College of Arts and Humanities. So I might have already met some of you already, but if not, you know, I encourage you all to meet with me this semester. If you have any questions through this process, I'm here. All of us are here to assist you. And so just again, welcome to our session today.
Thank you, Leanne. Okay.
You're welcome.
This is our webinar overview. We're going to review and update the admissions process. That's the timeline, when you're going to be admitted, okay? And then we're going to review the instructions on how to update your Cal State Apply application. And then we're going to have a listing of upcoming webinars, very important, and a Q&A afterwards, okay? And we're going to prompt you to do some things later on. We're going to also ask you over and over to use the Q&A. Now, some people use the chat, and what happens, all that information is public. So they're giving us their ID number and so forth. Please use the Q&A. But before we get started, let's launch some polls here. I think we have Rich, you think it's time for the polls? We have a good amount.
Yeah, let's push them out right now.
Okay, all right, here we go. Poll number 1. Here we go. Was Fresno State your first choice in selecting a university to attend? Very good. Rich, what are how the results look so far?
Look real good, actually. Real good. We only have almost 96%, participate about 5 more, and we'll be at 100%.
Wow. Good. So that is close to 75%. That's pretty
Mhm.
good. Thank you all, okay, for thinking so highly of us. Okay. And let's go to the next poll here. Poll number 2. Excuse me 1 second. Let me get this correct. Okay. Poll number 2. Here we go. And Leanne, this is you. I know you're are a wellness coach, but this poll is asking, what is your anxiety level in regards to being admitted? High, low, moderate. Oh, I'm sorry, I put low twice. Please take out that second one. We'll just combine the lows if whoever
Mhm.
chooses that. Okay. How are we doing, Rich, on this?
Yeah, we're doing great. That's good. That's a good turnout. Yeah. So about the numbers we got last night.
So moderate is about 50%, or right at 50%. High is 38%.
That's not uncommon. So you are
No,
not alone. When I transferred in, my anxiety was probably a lot higher than that. Okay, so
off the chart. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So we have 88% in the moderate to high. Okay. And Leanne, if we have time, you're going to speak to that at the end of this webinar, correct?
Sure. Yes.
Okay,
I
if we
can.
have time. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you so much. All right. So now thank you for filling out those polls. I'm going to turn it over to Jesse. Now, again, we are going to email you this presentation tonight. Okay. Jesse has a lot of information, and he's going to guide you when to take a screenshot, when to take a picture, and so forth. Jesse has many years of experience here, and you're going to get ready to hear a lot of words, because Jesse is very excited and has a lot of energy in recruiting students. So I'll take it away, Jesse.
All right. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Rick. So we definitely want to start. All right. So I mentioned earlier, many of you have already applied, or all of you have applied. Now it's kind of, hey, what do I do? Right? Like, what's the next step? Or better yet, maybe it's not even the next step. It's kind of, I'm just kind of curious what this whole process is like, And so my job today is to hopefully ease some of that anxiety, to kind of give you an idea of what to expect, where to find some information, resources on our website. We're going to share a couple documents with you as well, and to assist you on updating your application in Cal State Apply. So just hang tight. Lots of good information. It's going to go quick because we want to make sure we're respectful of your time, and you can get back to the other things that you were working on prior to joining us today. But again, really glad you're here today. We wanted to let you know that we're going to start admitting transfer applications on January 19th. That means that they started reviewing those applications. Okay. So do not panic if you do not receive a notice right away. All right. Do not panic. It's okay. Actually, we have until April 1st to make all admission decisions. A good number of our students will be more than likely be admitted after the transcript deadline of February 1st. Okay. Most students will be notified after all of their transcripts and documents have been received from Fresno State. In addition, we're also waiting. We're waiting for the admissions criteria that's coming in, so that we can go ahead and begin to process your applications based off of GPA and those additional questions that were asked of you in those additional quadrants on the application. So April 1st is all students who apply for fall 2022 should receive an admissions decision by then. Where do you find that out? The student portal. So make sure you created your Fresno State Gmail account. You created your Gmail account as well as your student portal, which is all tied together. It's all one particular username and one password. Okay. You would need your student ID number. You would need your student ID number to create those accounts. You should have received that back when you first applied to Fresno State. Okay. And you got a confirmation email from us giving you an ID number, the program that you applied to, as well as thanking you for submitting your application. Okay. So just go back if you applied in October, you go back to your October emails. If you applied in November, you go back to your November emails. Okay. Just check also your student. If you haven't received it, or if you believe you haven't received it, please check your spam or junk folder. I actually just worked with a student yesterday, and that's exactly where they found it, because they hadn't created their account. So again, check your spam or junk folder if you have not, or believe that you have not received that email. Okay. If you do not receive a notice of admission by April 1st, then you contact the admissions office by calling 278-2261. So please be aware of that. Okay. If you do not receive an admission decision, so if it gets down to like March 30th, then you're kind of, hey, I haven't heard anything. What do I do? Call the office and we'll see what's going on. Okay. But if you're like, I'm sure like many of you are here today, you're not going to wait until then. Please reach out to us. We're here to help you through this whole process. Reach out to your recruitment counselor and we'll be happy to help. And again, I'll show you where you find a lot of that information on our website. Go ahead on next slide, Rick. So this is a very important page. You can take a photo of this if you'd like, or take a quick screenshot of this. Critical dates for transfer applicants is so important. Again, I'm going to show you where you find this website or webpage on the admissions and recruitment website. But the deadline is January 31st to update your grades in Cal State Apply. Why is that important? Because if you took classes in fall of 21, so this last fall, okay, you need to go back in and you told us you were enrolled in classes and that you were planning to take classes this semester. Go back in there and update your grades for fall semester. If you only took fall semester classes, but you're not enrolled in any classes this semester, then just go in there and update your fall grades. Okay. That is what we will use to calculate GPAs for admission purposes. Okay. So if you haven't done so, then you need to do that as soon as possible. Okay. But you have a couple days. You have actually 11 days to do this. All right. February 1st is the transcript and document deadline. What does that mean? Your spring 22, your final transcripts. We need, your initial official transcripts with final fall 21 grades and spring 22 courses in progress, if applicable. Residency forms. Some of you may be, had to submit residency forms. You could find that on the to-do list if you need to submit that. AP scores, because you reported that you took AP. We need to get those scores in as soon as possible. Military DD-214s. Those documents need to be in as well. So February 1st is so important. Now, this does not mean that you go on January 30th and request your transcript to be sent to Fresno State. Do not do that. Okay. Transcripts take a while to process. So please get those in by February 1st. They need to be in our office. That's just the way it works. Okay. We have to get those in our office by February 1st. So best advice I can give you is request those transcripts to be sent electronically to Fresno State. If you're at Fresno City, COS, most of our local schools, community colleges, you can request those transcripts to be sent electronically or electronic via PDF is what I think is what it says. Get those sent to Fresno State. Please check with your admissions and records office at your school about sending those transcripts. Also, I encourage all of my transfer students to reach out to their counselor as well, their transfer center or transfer counselor, and see about if you're going to get or earn an associate's degree for a transfer, to make sure that you are in fact going to earn that associate's degree by the end of spring semester. Okay. So just be mindful of that. If your school requires an email address, okay, a lot of your schools already have it pre-programmed in their systems, but if they do require an email address, please visit our website under submitting electronic transcripts and find more information there. But most schools, what we do not want, this is what we do not want when it comes to transcripts, okay? Don't send them to yourself first and then send them to us, okay? We don't want that. We want them to be sent directly from your institution to Fresno State, okay? So from Fresno City to Fresno State, or COS to Fresno State, Porterville College to Fresno State. So again, work with your admissions and records office to get that sent in, okay? March 15th is the first day you accept and register for dog days, which is new student orientation. And at new student orientation is when you will be able to register for register for classes. Okay. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I want you to know that we want you to get those transcripts in. Again, those recipient tables already have Fresno State's information in there. A lot of times students are looking for Fresno State and they're like, well, I can't find it. Well, look under Cal State University Fresno, because we are part of the Cal State University system. So please use Cal State University Fresno, and maybe you'll have better luck that way. Okay. All right. That's kind of we talked about the January 31st, February 1st, March 15th. And let's go ahead and go on to the next slide.
Okay. Yeah, this is really helpful, Jesse.
Yep.
So you talked about the February 1st.
Right.
Just to emphasize it, what happens if we do not get the transcript from by February 1st? What happens to that applicant?
You would be withdrawn because you did not meet the document deadline. So that's why we're doing these webinars, to inform our students. We've sent out emails and different types of communication. We've let your counselors know. We've let other folks know as well in the community that we need that deadline to get those transcripts in by February 1st. So you don't want to get your application to be withdrawn. Okay, give yourself a chance. Get those transcripts in. Okay, so that document deadline is so important. I'll show you where you find this information on our website. This is more of a detailed, if you really want more of the details, you're those kind of students that really want to have like every little, you take a picture of this, put this on your phone. Matter of fact, students tell me from the past, they would take pictures of these dates and deadlines and just put it on their phone, and they always knew, and they favored it, and then they would go and reference it whenever that time came, when like, a certain time came around, or they put a reminder in their phone. Hey, March 15th, Fresno State's first day to accept my admission. And they would put accept admission to Fresno State as a reminder on their phone, and they did what they needed to do. Or transcript deadline is February 1st. They would put it on their phone. That way you would and remind them a couple days before that deadline to verify that we did in fact receive that transcript. So lots of different ways. Again, I'm only sharing what other students have shared with me that have helped, can help you out as well. Okay. So we do want a final transcript if you're in spring 22, enrolled in spring 22 courses. We want that transcript by June 30th. Okay. And that's the final transcript, but I know I didn't mention that earlier, but go ahead and go on to the next slide, Rick.
Yeah. Before, sure. Let's go to the next slide. That spring classes.
Yep.
Do students have to go back and update their Cal State Apply after spring?
Great question, Rick. No, they do not. Students, you do not have to go back in and update your grades for spring courses. What you'll do is you'll just send us a final official transcript, and it'll automatically be updated for you. Okay. So please, please, please do not go back into the Cal State Apply application in May or June and update your grades, because it won't allow you to update or make any changes. Okay. So only for fall grades will we, and that's what I'm going to show you next. Only for fall grades will you go back into your Cal State Apply application and update those grades. Okay.
Thank you, Jesse.
You got it. So transfer students must update their fall 21 grades in the classes they completed by January 31st, 2022. So if you entered the fall 21 classes under the in progress and planned, then what you need to do now is you need to go back into those application and change it from in progress to planned, in progress planned to completed. Okay. And I'm going to quickly show you where you find that information. As a matter of fact, my colleague Michelle is going to add the link there in the chat for you. So again, remember, please do not use the chat feature because the chat feature needs to be kept available so we can send you all these links. Okay. That way, all you have to do is click the link and save it. Okay. But I'm going to show you something here really quickly so that you know. So I am currently sharing this document with everybody, and this is the academic history updates that we have sent and shared with everybody. The deadline again is January 31st. Okay. So you would then go into your academic history quadrant. Okay. You go academic history quadrant, go to colleges attended if you need to update your colleges. Okay. Because for example, we had a student that they said they were going to go to Fresno City, but they no longer are going to Fresno City this spring semester. And so now it needs to change, right? Because they're not going to city any longer. They're now going to another school. So you can make those changes. But the college coursework is the most significant one. Okay. Then click on college coursework. And once you click on college coursework, you will then click on the school that you're going to update. So in this case, if it was one of these schools, you would click on edit, and then you would go in here and click on the pencil, right? Once you click on the pencil, then you're going to get this to pop up and it'll say in progress plan. And remember, we're going to change that to completed now. And then it'll allow you to add your grades. Now, a couple notes, because I know this happens, life happens, situations come up, we get it. Maybe you had a withdrawal from a class, or you didn't do very good in a class and you're looking to repeat the class, or you just didn't do very well. You have to put in the grade that is going to be on your transcript, okay? But if you are planning to repeat the course, okay, so definitely want to make sure you put RP, or you put the W or EW. Those courses, those need to be in there, okay? If you got a letter grade, put your letter grade in there, all right? Once you're done with that, you're going to go back and click on college coursework, okay? Obviously, you're going to hit save, and then you're going to go back into college coursework, and then you're going to go to the bottom of college coursework, and you're going to say, have you completed entering your transcript? And you're going to say yes, save your transcript, and then you're going to go to general education, and let's say, for example, I know some of you, we're currently taking like a math class right now, or a public speaking class or something like that. And this right here was saying in progress and plan. Now it's going to have a grade there. So you'll need to make sure that this is all fully completed. So it should be your comm, your English, your critical thinking math, or critical thinking, and then your math class right here, okay? Once you click on this, okay, you hit save, right? And then it'll ask you to go on to the next section. All right, this is standardized tests. Again, many of you are not going to add standardized tests, but some do, AP, stuff like that. Once you're done, click on the dashboard, or go back up to the top, okay, and click on and get to this page right here, which is the 4 quadrants. And right above there, there's going to be a link that's going to look like this, or a box, a gray box that says, making changes, send application updates to your submitted programs. You're going to click on this update my application. Once it goes away, it's done. You did what you needed to do. All right. So you do not need to click this button for the updates to be sent to campuses which apply, but this just helps. Okay. Okay. So again, you're getting a copy of this to show you how to do that. All right. Okay. Next, I'm going to quickly show you, and I know my colleagues have already added this page as well. And this is our admissions and recruitment homepage. What does this mean? So this is where all your admissions and recruitment information is at for the fall 22 admission cycle, okay? So you are all transfer students. So once this is our homepage, you're going to scroll down to the 4 quadrants. If you're on a phone, these will be all stacked. But this is the 4th quadrant. You're going to click on view transfer information. This is all what basically covers a lot of information that you need to know for students that I want to apply. So if you're in the I want to apply stage, this is what you've already done. You want to apply, you've already hopefully have met the requirements, you've read the admission selection. Here are those deadlines that I was talking to you about. And then here's your fall 22, click on the critical dates postcard, and you'll see the postcard right here as well. Okay, so the deadlines are on this page. Your Cal State Apply help if you need it. Meet the recruitment counselor. So let's say today you're kind of like, hey, I need some one-on-one. I don't quite understand, something that, maybe was clear and you need more clarification. You can click on request an appointment right here, and it'll take you to our appointment. You're going to find your majors. So let's say that you are interested in civil engineering, right? You would then click on schedule appointment now with civil engineering, and then it'll give you the appointment calendar for Rich, who's our recruitment counselor for Elias College of Engineering, and he'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Okay. However, many of you, or all of you, should be going here. So if you keep scrolling down to the bottom of, again, future transfer students, right? Transfer view transfer information. Okay. You're going to go to this very helpful page. Okay. It's called Next Step Tutorials. If you haven't created your Gmail account, we have videos, we have PDF files to show you how to check or how to create your Gmail account. We have how to check your application status, check important information and holds, how to check your official transcript status. I know some of you have already sent in your transcripts, right? And you're probably wondering, well, how do I know they've been received? You can go here and view that. How to accept your admissions offer. Hopefully you accept your admissions offer. And when that time comes on March 15th, you can learn how to do that. It'll be in the email that we send you. But you can also go here too. Lots of good information, how to register for dog days and student orientation. Lots of valuable information. You can also go to where it says resources, submitting electronic transcripts to view your transcripts. This is what I was talking about, electronic transcript processes. If you do an electronic transcript, it literally 1, 2, 3, it goes pretty quick. I've seen some transcripts get processed in as little as 2 to 3 days. Like that's how fast it moves. Okay. So if you decide to send it paper transcript, look how much longer it takes. Months. I mean, we're just being utterly honest, right? You have to request the transcript. Someone's got to receive the transcript, process it, put it in an envelope, mail it out, gets to the post office. The post office gets to us at some point. Then it goes to our mailbox, our mail services. And then we finally get it in admissions. Then we have to open the transcript, verify, look it up, process it, find it, and then initiate the admissions process. So I'm already exhausted just thinking about it, right? So don't use or just explaining this. So please, you can also view the transcript. Here's another video again. If you want to see the transcript, the schools that have electronic transcripts, your schools are here. For your local, you can find them here as well, okay? But again, you go to future student transfer, and all this information is in on our website, okay? Connect with us if you want to take a campus tour. You can do campus tours, virtual tours, different events that we have on campus, forms, residency information is all found under our resources page here for you, okay? So again, very helpful resource for you. Stop sharing that. Rick, go ahead and put us right back into that PowerPoint. Again, we're going to share that link with you. You should have it in the chat. So all you have to do is click it and save it, right? So remember, the Cal State Applied the deadline is January 31st. Your documents need to be into us by February 1st, please. Please get those into us as soon as possible. We greatly appreciate it. We want to help ease that anxiety level for you too, okay? And one way to do that is get those transcripts in there and start, meeting these deadlines as soon as possible. Please also, if you need help one-on-one, feel free to schedule an appointment with the recruitment counselor. We're here to answer those questions, okay? That's what we're here for, is here to support and help our students who've applied to get into the university, all right? Spring 22 transcripts, the final, your final grades have posted after the semester will be June 30th, okay? All right, going to go on to the next one. We talked about this part.
Yeah.
So
and that's the link that's in
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you, Jesse, but I know you're going to contribute more. Is there anything else that we should cover? Oh, I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay. So a student's asking when, I know it said March 15th, you could accept your admissions. Okay.
Right.
But does a student have to be admitted first? That sounds like a silly question, but I know that you're going to April 1st.
That's right.
Okay. What happens what happens if I get admitted March 20th? What's the situation there?
Then you've got it a lot easier than most. You don't have to wait. You just go in, you're going to go into the application, you're going to go into your portal, and you're going to go to university application status. You're going to see that you've been accepted, hopefully, and been admitted to or better yet, you've been conditionally admitted to the university, right? And then what's going to happen is that you'll be able to, hit the back or return page, and you're going to see a link there that says accept decline. Once you click, you're going to then click accept, and then you'll be able to register for Dog Days. You're going to accept your admission to Fresno State and register for Dog Days Youth Student Orientation. So you'll be able to do all of that at one time. Or some of you, okay, just FYI, because maybe some of you have already started receiving notifications. I don't know, but let's say in the middle of February, you start receiving information that you get an email. Congratulations, you've been conditionally admitted to Fresno State. Awesome. You have to wait until March 15th to actually accept your admission and register for Dog Days Youth Student Orientation. Okay. So it's just a little bit of a waiting game. That's all. But overall, if you get a decision March 20th, great. You'll go in there, you accept your admission, register for Dog Days Youth Student Orientation. You're good to go. Okay. Best advice I can give you for Dog Days Youth Student Orientation. I hope everybody that's here today gets accepted to Fresno State, right? Or conditionally admitted to Fresno State. However, I know some, that may not be the case for some, but hopefully everybody does. And what will happen is you want to register for Dog Days Youth Student Orientation on the earliest date possible that's available for you. Okay. So if you get a date in July, like July, I don't know, I'm just throwing a date, I'm just random date, July 10th, right, is the first day that you can register, then July 10th is the day that you want to come to register for classes. Okay. So
Jesse, I do have a question for you.
Yep.
Regarding the ADT submission, but before I go to that, I was going to ask Rich. Now, Rich, am I correct that nursing students, applicants, they have to be accepted to nursing and then and accepted to nursing in Fresno State at the same time? Is that what I heard yesterday?
I think anyone else can help. I believe so.
Yeah.
And then something else will come up. They'll have something to a supplemental application at a later date as well. So,
Okay. All right.
mhm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Jesse, so how does a person submit their ADT?
great question. So for many community colleges, what they do is, this is why it's important to go and talk to your transfer counselor, right? What they're going to do is they're going to, and then also many of you are looking to apply for graduation at your California community college, right? Or community college. When you do that, actually it's California community colleges are the ones that award associate's degree for transfers. Once you apply for that, it's going to ask if you like that you're applying for an associate's degree for transfer, and it's going to put you on a list to be verified, in fact, to make sure that you are going to earn that associate's degree for transfer. That's why the transfer counselors at your school sites will really be helpful to you, because they can verify that you are in fact going to be earning that degree. And that way, when we receive your transcript at the end of the semester, okay, then that we will then be able to truly verify that, hey, this student is earning the associate's degree for transfer, and we're going to indicate that on their student record. Okay. Do not panic if you're not earning an associate's degree for transfer. It's okay as long as you have 60 or more transferable units, the 4 foundation classes completed. But many students have indicated to us that they're planning to transfer with an associate's degree for transfer. And so we want you to get that verified. That deadline is March 15th. So at any time between now and then, you really want to make sure that you get that into us. But you definitely want to check with your community college counselor or transfer counselor, and then have them submit it through the E-Verify site. Okay. They know what to do. You just got to let them know that you are transferring to Fresno State and that you are earning, that you are planning to earn the associate's degree for transfer. They should have already seen it on your record, but again, it's just something for you to, again, more information for you to have, the better it is for you when you go to meet with them.
Rich, we're going to go on to this next slide, but I have one more question for Jesse. Let's say a student said they were getting an ADT, but then things change. They still get it, they're still on the pathway to get admitted to Fresno State, but now they don't have an ADT. What should they do? Or they're not going to earn an ADT. What should they do?
Yes, and Jesse or me?
Jesse.
Oh,
So if they're going to earn their not going to earn their ADT any longer, and you told us on your application that you are going to earn your ADT, then what you're going to do is you're going to go to our contact us page, and I'll show you that. Give me 1 second here. I'll show you where you go. You're going to go to the admissions and recruitment website. You're going to click on contact us, and there's going to be a form right here. That's you're going to fill it out. You're going to put that you have applied. You are a transfer student. You're going to provide them their student ID number. And then there's going to be a topic of questions there. It's going to, I believe it says college coursework or something like that. Click on that, and then, or other, and put ADT, and let them know that, let your admissions evaluator know that you're no longer going to be earning the associate's degree for transfer, and then they'll remove the hold from your account. Okay.
Okay. Is this where you also submit any DD 214s or residency?
No, residency, you go to the residency forms here, and then you would then find the form that you download the form, fill it out, and then you'll go here to submit the form.
Oh, great. Good. Very good.
DD
Okay.
214s, contact the Veterans Office. I'm not sure exactly how they will accept those. So,
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, Rich, we're going to, thank you, Jesse. We're going to go into upcoming events, but Rich, before you get into the webinar descriptions and what we have planned, some of our staff in the admissions part may call students, and sometimes they think that it's not an important phone call. Can you explain how our communications work
Yes,
with,
that's a really good question. If anyone calls from Fresno State, you're going to get this number, 559-278-0000. If you get that number, that means someone from Fresno State is trying to get a hold of you. Okay. Now, what I usually recommend as well, a lot of students, when we call, their message boxes are full. They haven't emptied them. So sometimes you might not get the message. It might be an important message, it might be a residency question, might be whatever it may be. Okay. So make sure that's empty. And then you take notes of who called you actually. Okay. Because if I called you from my phone, you're going to get that same number. And so you won't know who it's from. So sometimes I get that phone call like, hey, this number called me. Who called? I don't know. It could be admissions. It could be anybody from Fresno State. So make sure you jot down the name and the department that called you actually. Okay. So that number again is 559-278-0000. Okay. So that is the number if anyone from Fresno State is trying to contact you. Okay. All right. And then here's some upcoming events. All right. So we have some next steps that would be up. That's a real popular one. Next steps. It's usually after. We kind of go over and check if my transcripts have arrived. Just a lot of questions about the whole admission. I've been accepted. All these different things. Okay. How to accept your admissions and register for dog days because it's a two-step process. We'll have Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval, the university president. He will have a webinar to new students using an afternoon and evening session. Okay, and that's a really good one. That's good. Very seldom do you actually get to speak or ask questions to a university president. So that's a real special event there. I would recommend you get your parents involved, anyone that wants to be involved in that webinar, because that's how you can ask questions on the climate of the campus. Is it going to be online? Is it going to be in person? Is those kind of questions. Okay, so that's a great event. Okay, and then we're going to have Colin, who will talk about campus life as far as fraternities, student involvement, clubs, esports, intramural sports, club sports, all that good stuff. And most of this for admitted students, how to plan your schedule, and then what makes Fresno State an amazing university. We go over all the dynamics, what makes Fresno State, why should you choose Fresno State? Okay. And what, and we'll go over, and most of us will be on that webinar, because all of us here are Fresno State graduates. So it's really easy for us to speak about Fresno State. I took this from I was at a meeting the other day. When you speak from the heart, you don't need a script. And that's kind of how we speak about Fresno State being an amazing university. And then on top of that, we'll have Fresno State financial aid. That's always a huge question. I know we had some financial aid questions here today, but we don't work in financial aid. Okay, so we don't want to give you the wrong information because everyone has a specific question to them. Okay, so not everybody's the same. It's not just a blanket thing about financial aid. Everyone has something unique. So we'll have financial aid Fridays, and those are usually really popular. And then save the date. Okay, we got March 26th. We don't know if this is going to be in person or virtual, but right now we're planning it to be in person, and that's March 26th, and that's when we invite students on campus, and we go over and it's a Fresno State preview day. So again, so I'd probably put that down on your calendar. That's pretty important. We go over all the different majors and programs we have here. Financial aid is going to be there. You name it. EOP. I go through every student service here at Fresno State. Everyone at this university will be involved at preview day. Okay, so that is a real special event as well. Okay, so we hope to see you then. Check your emails. Okay, I know we do a courtesy of sending everything to your personal email as well, but I started getting the habit of checking your Fresno State email, because that's, if you have financial information, that's where they're sending their information to, Fresno State. Okay, so again, yeah, so these are exciting. We get really excited. We get to do these events. They're very, very popular, and like I said, we have fun doing these. It's a lot of fun. All right, back to you, Rick.
Thank you, Rich. Before we go to Lynn, and Lynn, we're going to go to you to maybe answer these Q&A verbally. So I wanted to state that preview day, some of you may not have been on campus. This is going to be very important. Last time, I think, Jesse, we had close to 4,000 students here, some amount like that. Yep. So, and I want to remind you again about the deadlines, because Fresno State's an impacted campus. So that means we have more applications, and I hope this will not add to your anxiety level if you do make all the deadlines. But if we have more applications than seats in certain majors, so some of the majors are going to say, all right, so how many students can I have coming in? Okay, that hasn't been established yet. All right, but right now, if you do everything, you've already applied. If you get admitted and you keep on doing all those things, you're going to be okay. All right, and we're going to hear some words from Leanne later on about some of the anxiety and some of the positive way of approaching this. All right, Lynn, what are we hearing or seeing? I'm sorry, what are we seeing in the chat? Anything that we need to answer verbally?
Maybe to just review the process a student would take if they need to make any changes to their enrollment status for spring 22 coursework. They should use the contact form, and that link is in the chat. Maybe just reviewing that procedure again. That's a recurring theme.
Okay, Jesse, I'll let you handle that. So if you want to share your screen again, yeah.
Yeah, I have another to add to that one as well, because it also kind of piggybacks. So for example, the associate's degree for transfer, right, was one of those ones. I know many of you have indicated that you're planning to earn the associate's degree for transfer after this semester, after the spring 22 semester. That's great, awesome, fantastic. But we know that, right? So if you're in progress and you're going to earn the ADT, awesome. Your counselors know that, but they have until March 15th to confirm that you are in fact going to earn that associate's degree for transfer. Okay, so please go and visit your community college counselor over at your school or transfer center counselor to confirm that, to make sure that you are in fact going to earn that degree. And then when you go in, if you in fact do not, you find out you're not going to earn that degree, you do not plan on earning it any longer, but you reported it on our application, that's why you see a hold on your account. Okay, then you need to go into the Cal State, go into our go-to-fresnostate.com website, click on contact us. All right, and it's going to take you to this page, and there's going to be a form here. You're going to click on I have applied. You're going to fill this out. I have applied. I am a transfer student, and you're going to put your ID number. The topic of question will be ADT, and then you're going to let us know that you're no longer planning to earn that ADT after the spring 22 semester. Simple as that. Okay. And your evaluator will then go ahead and remove that hold from your account, and you're good to go. The biggest thing is that you want to make sure you have 60 or more transferable units. You have the 4 foundation classes completed. You have the GPA that's met for the that major, and you're good to go. Okay, that's basically it. If there's coursework that was, hey, you're no longer taking this class in the spring, don't panic. Send us an official transcript. It'll get updated. Okay.
Yeah, and I was looking at some of the Q&A, and I had a student just yesterday from Merced College, and the question was that, long story short, she couldn't get into a class that she put on her application, okay, for the spring.
Mhm.
So she went to Barstow Community College to get that class. Totally fine. It doesn't have to be. It could be multiple California community colleges you go to satisfy the requirement. So she wasn't aware of that. She thought she had to take everything at one college. Not quite true.
Yep, that
Okay.
happens all the time. And remember, everybody, go to the transfer website, right? If you go onto the homepage, right? Go to the homepage. You scroll down about middle of the page. You're going to see view transfer students. This is your page for transfer admission. Click on view transfer information, and then scroll down. You'll find the next step tutorials. It'll show you how to access your Gmail account, how to check your transcript status, how to check your application status. I know some students were saying, hey, the portal looks very simple, but I can't find the link. It's okay. We got you. Go to this page, go to step 4, click on my admissions and program applications, and then click on this little link right here that says university application status. Okay. It may look a little different slightly. Okay. And don't panic, but you may not have all this request information, all that stuff. It's just a kind of but we want you to click on this link right here that says university application status. And then it'll give you a response. It'll give you the transcript information that we received or not received the transcript. It'll also tell you that your application is ready for review. If you're at this stage right here, that all documents necessary to determine your admissions eligibility have been received and your admissions application is ready for review, then guess what? We've gotten everything we need to make that decision, and you're good to go. Okay. So they're going to go ahead and evaluate your file. and hopefully you get a notification here really soon. If your application status says that you're incomplete, that means that we're still waiting for something to come in, and it'll probably more than likely be like a transcript or maybe a residency form or AP scores or something along those lines. Okay, something that you indicated to us that you were going to send us by the February 1st deadline. Okay, so this is very important. All right, student center, university application status. Okay, so I just want to share that with you. Go to this page. It's so helpful. It's kind of in order. You check your email. You can check your status. You can check your important info and holds. Check your transcripts to see if we've even received them. Right. You can go to, there's a quick video. I mean, these videos are like 1 minute long, if that, right? And so how to accept your admissions offer, how to register for Dog Days, all that information is here. Okay. So we shared that with you. So save it, favorite it. Okay.
Okay. Jesse, can you keep that page up? Because I know we reference this a lot in answering questions. Going back to Lynn, any other questions we need to answer live? And then afterwards, we'll go to Leanne.
Let's see. We did get a few questions regarding the contact us form and informing admissions of their of any change to their schedule, but that should be, you can also submit an official transcript reflecting the change that has taken place for your spring enrollment, and then it's all official. So those two things, I guess, can be done. But if you weren't able to add the course, for example, prior to the deadline, I would inform admissions. Yeah, if like you're waitlisted maybe, or something to that effect. And then no other recurring themes.
Thank you. Leanne, anything you want to address live in the Q&A or any follow-up?
So one thing I would just recommend students do is, and this happens quite often, is to just make sure that you're continuing to check your Fresno State Gmail. Like Jesse had mentioned earlier, is to make sure that you're also checking your spam as well, because a lot of times important emails do go over to your spam. And so if you miss that, you might miss a very important message from admissions. And then if anything, you have a question about something, definitely reach out to us. I'll put the appointment link in the chat, and we can definitely kind of help you sift through that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leanne.
Yeah, I want to add to what Leanne mentioned there. If you want to schedule an appointment, remember, you go to that transfer page, right? And you can actually click on request an appointment or meet with a recruitment counselor, request an appointment, and then go down here, find your major, right? Like I mentioned earlier, computer engineering. I'm just using an example here. You click on it and it will take you to Rich, his calendar, and you can schedule an appointment. He's available on the 20th, which is as early as tomorrow at 3:30. Okay. And then you can go ahead and update that information. Okay. So, and fill it out and a confirmation will be sent to you. Okay. It's that easy.
Jesse, what's an alternative if let's say you clicked on Rich's calendar and he's booked up or your schedule doesn't match? What's an alternative?
Then you can go, if it doesn't work for you, then you can go down to the very bottom of the page and you can request the first available appointment here. And then you click on this and it'll tell you, what your first available appointment is. And it'll tell you all the, how soon they're available. Okay.
So this really works for quick questions.
For quick questions. Yeah.
Yeah. This really works. Thank you.
Yep. Oh, see, Rich's appointment's already just booked. That's how fast it works. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, students, I know that you transferred. Now I transferred in to Fresno State. It was much different back then. Okay. It is complicated. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It is complicated now. Rich, I know you transferred in from Allen Hancock College, and when I transferred in, it was quite simple, but not now. So if you have any questions, please make an appointment with us. Give us that call. Give us a call at 2261. We would certainly like to help you. Let's do this. I know we're over time.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is I want to share some. I want to end this with really a positive thing. Well, going to Fresno State's a positive thing. We're all Bulldogs here, and I'll tell you, it's my first step on campus was exciting. one of the sad days in my life was graduating. I was happy, but then I missed the university because I had so much fun, and it developed me in a certain way, and it was priceless to me. And so we're here to help you. By the way, this is a really good counseling staff here. So if you have any questions, you get lost, just call us, just contact us. We'll be happy to help you. And if we're busy, call again. Make sure you get in touch with us, but we will share our information with you in the PowerPoint that I'm sending. Okay. Leanne, any as we come to the closure of this webinar, any statements you would like to make to the students?
Yes, I would. I would just say, just kind of going back to the anxiety poll. I know that, you all have anxiety. We also have it as well, too, as recruitment counselors, because we're all shooting for you guys to come here to Fresno State. We're very excited. This is one of the main reasons why we conduct so many webinars, because we want to make sure that if you miss one, you still have an opportunity to, attend another webinar. We want to make sure that you get that message. And so you get emails, you get webinars from us. But at the same time, to kind of help you alleviate the anxiety that you might be feeling. And a lot of times it's not really kind of that negative anxiety. It's really just you're very excited and you just really, you're waiting for that admission decision. And so it's that excitement that is kind of there. And so we just want to let you know that we are here to assist you with the transfer process. If you have questions, you can email us, you can chat with us. There's the contact link. I encourage all students to set up an appointment with any one of us. And like Jesse had mentioned earlier, going to that appointment link, schedule it with your major recruitment counselor, because that honestly, I recommend that. Build that connection. We're going to definitely make sure that, we set you on the right path. And, just lastly, I was just kind of looking at this quote is, I'm a Fresno State grad, as well as, my colleagues here as well, too. And for me, Fresno State has been one of the best experiences. And I just wanted to leave you with this quote is, tough times don't last, tough people do. And so I just, I want to welcome you to Fresno State, and we're shooting for you. And we definitely want to, have you join us as a Bulldog family. So thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. I like that. Yeah, Bulldog tough, right?
That's right.
All right. Okay. I want to thank everybody for attending. Again, I'll send you the PDF of this PowerPoint that we presented. I'll send it this evening. And please, part of your responsibility is making sure that you get served. Okay. So if you have any questions, please contact us. Thank you for attending.